You cannot make up what the Dallas Cowboys are doing. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Cowboys projected to add surprise replacement for Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott seem to be heading for the quarterback playing out the final year of his contract this season, which could mean replacing the 30-year-old could become a top priority next offseason. If Prescott walks at the end of next season, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys could be big players in the veteran quarterback market or prioritize emerging from the 2025 NFL Draft with one of the top prospects at the position. CBS Sports NFL analyst Chris Trapasso envisions the latter scenario playing out, projecting the Cowboys will choose University of Houston quarterback Donovan Smith with the number 25 overall pick in his latest 2025 mock draft projection. There's always one surprise quarterback who catapults himself into the round 1 discussion, Trapasso writes. Smith is my pick right now. At 6'5" and listed at 240 pounds, he looks the part. Plus, he has mobility and a reasonable arm. In Trapasso's scenario, Smith is the 4th quarterback chosen and would represent the Cowboys undertaking a full-fledged refresh at quarterback. Smith began his collegiate career at Texas Tech before transferring to Houston before the 2023 campaign. Through his first 3 seasons as a starting quarterback, Smith boasts a 64.4 completion percentage with 5,488 passing yards, with 41 touchdowns to 23 interceptions with a 137 passer rating. However, Smith missed the Cougars' spring practices after undergoing surgery to repair a labrum injury in his right shoulder. This fall, Smith will aim to boost his draft stock and has the chance to build on a 2023 season in which he passed for a career-high 2,801 yards with 22 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Depending on how the upcoming season plays out for Dallas and how deep Prescott can lead the Cowboys in the postseason, Smith could make the 3rd stop of his football career in the Lone Star State. Pro Football Network NFL draft analyst Ian Cummings suggests that while Smith is an under-the-radar prospect in the upcoming quarterback class, the 6'5" and 235-pound signal caller has the physical traits and talent to solidify his status as a first-round prospect this fall. Smith passes the eye test with his tools, Cummings writes for PFN. He's a great athlete at 6'5", 235 pounds, with the necessary explosiveness, fluidity, and play strength to create off-script. He also has near-elite composite arm talent, with the strength and elasticity to test defenses all through reps. With his arm talent, Smith can hit quick lasers on anticipation plays, hit crossing WRs on the move with his off-platform skills, or beautifully layer pace and touch on vertical concepts, and he's a danger from almost any platform with his angle freedom and natural feel. While it remains to be seen whether the 2024 campaign is Prescott's swan song in Dallas, the Cowboys' opponent to open the season is a mystery no longer. Not only will the game pit Prescott against former Cowboys wide receiver Amari Cooper, but Tom Brady will be making his broadcasting debut in the Fox booth. The second story is Dallas Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy is very impressed with rookies on day 1. It's definitely not football season, and what happened on Friday wouldn't exactly be classified as a practice. But the players were back on the field at the Star, as the Cowboys opened a 2-day minicamp for rookies and first-year vets. There were no pads or even helmets. But what we did have was our first glimpse of the Cowboys' 2024 rookie class, including all 8 draft picks and 12 more newly signed undrafted free agents. The crop of 20 rookies were joined by a handful of first-year veterans, players who spent last year only on the practice squad, and another rookie quarterback on a tryout basis. All in all, it was definitely a start to the off-season practices, which will take place over the next month, including OTAs and 1 minicamp practice. After this weekend, the entire team is allowed to participate, but as for these first 2 days, it's all about the rookies. And according to head coach Mike McCarthy, he likes what he has seen so far both on and off the field. I've talked to the people that picked them up from the airport. I've talked to people who drop them off at the hotel. They're always getting evaluated. It's important. There is so much out there on culture. Culture never stays the same. Their responsibility is to come in and help us advance our culture. They've made a huge impression today for day one. Hopefully, they stay above standard tomorrow. As for the actual performance on the field, McCarthy reiterated the fact they didn't even wear helmets, so it's not easy to gauge success right away. But again, he liked the way they were prepared for the moment. The work on the field was impressive, McCarthy said. We feel like we say, this is the best group we've ever had every year. I think the quality of work we've been able to get done since the draft to now, kudos to the coaches and players because it definitely showed up today. I'm very impressed with this group. They made a very strong first impression. Among the rookies, all eyes were on first-round pick Tyler Guyton, who apparently couldn't get to this moment fast enough. Guyton explained how he rented a house near the complex so he could get started in his preparation. I couldn't wait to get up here. You can sit at home for 2 weeks or you can get to work, Guyton said. This was a great day for us to get started, but it's just the start. And it continues Saturday with another practice with the rookies. After sitting out the top of the running back market and whiffing at the position during the NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys' running back room lacks a true bell cow. Likewise, Pro Football Focus NFL analyst John Costco lacks confidence in the Cowboys' running backs, ranking Dallas's backfield as the weakest in the league. The Cowboys were linked to multiple backs in the draft, Costco writes for PFF, but came away with none. They instead re-signed Ezekiel Elliott a year after cutting him. They'll likely utilize him in a committee approach with Rico Dowdle and Royce Freeman, which doesn't inspire much confidence in the room. Dallas is essentially taking a $2 million flyer on Elliott picking up in 2024 at age 28, where he left off from 5 starts with the New England Patriots in 2023, rushing for 645 yards and 3 touchdowns as a focal point of the ground game. However, even if Royce Freeman carves out a role as a change-of-pace complementary back alongside Elliott, it's difficult to envision not selecting a running back during the draft is going to be a decision that works out favorably for the Cowboys. After all, Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn have combined for just 119 rushing attempts and 2 career touchdowns. Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy expects to lean heavily into a running back by committee approach in hopes of overseeing a 3rd consecutive top 5 offense in 2024. I have more experience with that, McCarthy told reporters of deploying a committee. I think it's really the times that we're in. 17 games is a lot of football. That's a big role for those guys. Don't get me wrong. They'd all like to carry it like the old days and have those touches, but you want those guys fresh at the most important time of the year. So that's all part of planning and how you look at projections of playtime. Deploying multiple backs could help keep Elliott fresh after logging 2,065 career rushing attempts, but how productive the Cowboys' running game proves to be remains to be seen, especially given the limited resources Dallas has invested in the position this offseason. Since his arrival, the Cowboys have exuded confidence in Elliott's ability to make a legitimate impact this season. The third story is Dallas Cowboys to deploy RB by committee for 2024 season. How many different types of punches can the Dallas Cowboys throw from the running back position in 2024? Considering their depth chart heading into OTAs currently resembles a character select screen from a fighting game. Ezekiel Elliott has reunited with the Dallas Cowboys for the 2024 season. Yes, and he does so to presumably take the lead role in a young room of running backs that lost his former tag team partner Tony Pollard to the Tennessee Titans in free agency. Elliott reported to voluntary conditioning wearing his familiar number 21 before migrating to number 15 for his next chapter with the Cowboys. But the jersey is the only thing that's changed, as described by head coach Mike McCarthy. It's as natural of a transition that you'll ever see, said McCarthy. He walked in, and he had that unbelievable smile. It's like he never left. Huge personality in the locker room. But some things have changed for him as well, like protection systems, so he has some new learning, but it's great to have him back. With Rico Dowdle coming off of a career season and having also re-signed on a one-year deal, the current depth chart elevates Dowdle to the role of RB2, that is, if you're thinking of it in the traditional sense. McCarthy isn't, however, instead preparing for a group approach. When asked if he believes the two-time former NFL rushing champ can return to that form, McCarthy said it wouldn't be fair to ask or expect Elliott to suddenly become the 2016-ish version of himself again. And also, that isn't the plan anyway. We're running back by committee, McCarthy explained, but I think he'll definitely play at the level that he's played, I know, in my time here. I anticipate that. I don't see any drop-off in the way he moves. He's in good shape.